What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bios3 Raw TV. Today we have an episode of Ask Bios3, and what the Ask Bios3s are is not necessarily bodybuilding or diet related. It's more usually relationship, addiction, or depression related stuff that bonds us together other than bodybuilding, because we all go through this shit. So Ask Bios3 today comes from Gunner, and Gunner says, here's a quick discussion for a video for Ask Bios3. Have you ever had a girlfriend that isn't into eating as healthy as you, or maybe she can't stand it when you're dieting down because you can't eat the same foods together? And if so, have you ever worked around that? Thanks, man. I mean, yes, absolutely. I've only dated one competitor in my entire life, which was Kari. And even though Kari was a competitor, we still didn't eat the same foods. Kari usually did a keto diet when she was getting ready for competition, and I usually ate a low-fat, carbohydrate-based and did carb cycling. Sometimes I did keto, but bottom line was, even Kari and I weren't always on the same page when it came to our diets. Now, the woman I dated before Kari had absolutely nothing. She didn't even go to the gym. Like, she had nothing to do with the fitness industry. Didn't go to the gym. Didn't know anything about bodybuilding or anything like that. And when I first met her, I was competing, but there was a lot of like normal living when I was not competing. Like, absolutely just eating whatever, whenever, going to restaurants, whatever she made to eat, because she was a really good cook and she did cook all the time. I would just eat. I mean, it was very social for us. It was, I guess, bonding time for her and I. And when it came time to get ready for a competition, of course, I couldn't do the food that I was eating before. So this girl actually embraced it and would make the food for me and try to find ways to make it taste good, or just make the food in general, figuring, well, I'm already making this food, I'll make this food on top of it. And at first, it was interesting to her. And she was like, why are you doing this? I don't understand. Because it was the first time, I'd done a competition with her. She didn't understand why the change in food. She understood that, one set of foods was going to get me leaner than the other one. Or she called it was healthier than the other one. That was just the word she used. And as time went along, yes, I get, kind of a little grumpy and stuff. I couldn't go out to restaurants to eat as the show got closer, and things changed, and, calories changed, carbs changed, food choices changed, supplements changed as far as like protein powders and stuff that I was using. And it all interested her a lot, to the point where, and I was really not, when I'm dieting, I'm not a dick. So I'll still go out with someone, but I'll have literally like a salad with nothing on it. Or I'll go to, a restaurant or a bar or whatever and have a bottle of water or a Diet Coke at the time, which I was drinking, so that it, I kind of fit back in with society, was able to do stuff with my girlfriends like that. Now, towards the end of our relationship, she had decided, after watching me do this and torturing myself, that she wanted to try to compete too. So that's exactly what she did. She went through it. She went through the whole process. She looked fantastic on stage. I think she got third in her class at the state championship. And when she came off stage, she was like, this was really fucking hard. Like, it's not even what I thought you guys go through at all. But she had to go through that for herself to see what I was going through. And that was like 2008. So 2009 is when we actually parted ways. When I started preparing for the Pittsburgh in 2000, at the end of 2008, beginning of 2009, that's when things started to fall apart again. Because she understood the foods are coming, the lifestyle's coming, and she just didn't want to get in the way of my goals. And I actually almost stopped competing because of her. Like I said, I'll stop doing this if it's bothering you, if it's interfering with your life and our life. I'll stop doing this. And she was like, no, it's what you love to do. I don't want you to stop. And she stepped aside. She literally stepped aside and said, do what you have to do. But I found throughout the years that, the food that you're eating, it's your choice. It's not her choice. She didn't choose for you to eat that food, and she doesn't have to eat that food. She doesn't even have to be into what you're doing. She could be moderately interested in what you're doing. She could not even give a shit at all. She could be like, I don't like this, and bounce on you in a fucking second and leave. It varies from, relationship to relationship, but the person just has to respect what you're doing. There's a lot of stuff that I don't understand about a lot of women. When I was dating Kari, she liked to collect books signed by authors. And I didn't understand that. I was like, what difference does it make if the author signed it? That was one of the things that she did. She liked to collect those. I mean, it's something that, I wouldn't have picked for myself. Like, I don't collect stamps. I collect shoes. Like, that's one of the things that I do. But I respected the fact that this is what she does. It makes her happy. It doesn't hurt anyone. I don't need to understand. I just need to respect the fact that this is what she does. You know, and then if you're, you know, depending on if you're in the beginning of a relationship, in the middle of a relationship, at the end of a relationship, that's going to change whether or not, you know, the girl tolerates what you're eating too. You know, I shouldn't even say tolerate, because, you know what, it really doesn't make a difference. You know, there's plenty of times where you can go out, and if she wants to eat lobster and chocolate cake, she can eat that, and you can have your chicken breast and rice. I mean, you can order it at the restaurant. I mean, there's ways to work around it. And, I mean, that's how I pretty much worked around it. Like, I'll stick on my thing, and I own the fact that it's something that I'm doing. I decided to do this. It's my decision. It's not on her. And let's say it is that fish meal. Let's say it's that fucking fish meal that I don't want to eat. I've had 5 fish meals today, and this is not how I eat, but let's just say. And I'm like, fucking fish again. I hate fish. I'm so sick of this. If you're saying stuff like that in front of her, it's going to put a negative spin on it. And she's going to start thinking that these meals and this food is negative. It's affecting you negatively. It's affecting your mood negatively. And, of course, she's not going to like that. It's going to hurt the relationship. So if you're eating this food and you realize, hey, this is what I chose to do. This is getting me to my goal. It's another fish meal. Fuck it, whatever. It's just a meal. I'll be done with this show soon. I'll be able to have chicken anytime I want, or whatever the fuck is going on. Own the responsibility yourself, and don't complain about it in front of her, because nobody wants to hear anybody complain. If she asks you, how do you like that fish? You know, tell her. Say, look, you know, I've had 5 fish meals today. It's kind of boring, but you know what? I'll get through it. You know, own the responsibility of the fact that you're doing this on your own. You're eating like this because you want to eat like this. And don't bitch about it, because you can change it anytime you want. You don't have to eat the fish meal. You can go eat chicken. You can go eat a fucking burger. You can do whatever you want. You choose to do it. And sometimes the other person in a relationship doesn't realize, you know, that you have chosen to do this, and it's extremely hard. And there's going to be times where you want to complain, and you want to complain to your significant other. And when that's all you do for weeks at a time, and that's all your significant other hears is how fucking awful it is to do this, what do you think they're going to think about that situation? So, A, you can't force them to eat like you. B, you can't really force them to understand it. And C, you really can't complain to them all the time, because it's just going to put a negative spin on what you're doing and ruin the situation to begin with. So those are my 3 things that I look at. And other than that, just respect what you're doing, own it, and hopefully she respects it too. BibleStudyTraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.BibleStudyTraining.com is a blog. You own what you eat, bicep, and we're out.